in that dark Maduro wrapper.
Yep.
And it's been kind of hit or miss. Some of them have been, I mean, I had one. It was an 1105 size Camacho, covered in plume, and it was just awesome. It was
1116, you mean? Or?
no, it was 1105.
Oh,
So it
okay.
starts out really, really skinny,
Okay.
and then gets fat.
Okay.
Whereas an 1118 will, kind of has that taper.
Yeah.
But the 1105 is a more dramatic taper.
Interesting.
And that one was like out of the park, grand slam. Some of the other stuff was good, and some of the other stuff was just meh.
Yeah. It's
so
like any brand, I think.
yeah.
I will say this much.
I mean,
for the
age isn't
stick.
going to make it like this magical experience, right? It's just
No, but I will say that I'm not surprised that you say you had some age on it because the flavors were very balanced.
exactly.
It just happened to be not my flavor profile.
See, I
and-
thought it would be. I thought you'd like. Well,
and
again,
construction was A plus.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I can't complain. It burned great.
Right.
It was great. But
So I smoked a Viaje Summerfest with, and I put in all caps, shaggy foot. This is that torpedo size.
which one? The one from last year? The 20
This is
Okay.
well, I think they only came out with the shaggy foot one once, or was it twice?
twice. They did
Was-
2010 and 2011.
Might have been the newer one. I
Okay.
think this was the newer one. There was a cigar site online that I used to buy a lot of like kind of weird rare stuff from. They'd be like the only ones that had it, and now you can't buy from them anymore. I don't know what happened to Fuller's Pullers.
They took them off the internet. They went. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're still in existence, but they're just not selling.
They're
on
not
the
selling
internet.
online. Yeah, I loved buying from that site, and that's where I got this one. And it has like that almost like inch and a half of shaggy foot. I don't know if it's quite that. It may be an inch and a half of shaggy foot. You might have seen it. There's lots of pictures of it and its shaggy foot. And I clip almost all of the shaggy foot off of it. Not all of it, right? I leave maybe a quarter to an eighth of an inch of the shaggy foot after I clip it. And I smoke that part of it because you can smoke that part of it with relative ease. If you were to try and light the whole shaggy foot, I mean, it would just be like a barn fire on the end of your cigar.
Yeah.
Like it would be really. You're not supposed to do that. I don't think you can.
Now-
It's not really recommended.
I'm pretty sure.
I recommend scissors for this. I like using scissors to do this because you can kind of clip it neatly as opposed to just a straight cut might make and it's hard to get the straight cutter because the shaggy foot, right, like kind of it expands at the end, like flares out a little bit. So to try and get a straight cutter over that, you're not going to be able to cut it. Nice ash.
Thank you.
So I like to use scissors to cut the shaggy foot, and we'll talk about cutters later in the show. It's good, kind of a good segue. So the advantage of the shaggy foot is there's no wrapper on the shaggy foot, so you get to taste the binder and the filler before you start tasting the wrapper. And they do this for you. You don't. Sometimes you'll cut the wrapper off and just smoke the binder and filler to notice the transition. With this one, you can do that much more easily. The flavors were good. It was a medium bodied smoke. I didn't enjoy it as much as the last one I remember of this one. The flavors weren't very balanced, and you'll see a picture. There was kind of a hole, had a little bit of construction problems inside of it, so that the flavors didn't balance and really do it for me in the cigar. It was kind of just okay for me.
I bought a few of these this past summer when they were released. And actually, I actually smoked the shaggy foot and thought it was the best part of the cigar and chucked it up soon afterwards because I'll tell you, when they were first released, they were young. I don't know if they were green or if they were young. By the sounds of it, they probably weren't green. They were probably just young. It wasn't even smokable. So interesting to hear that it's settled
No,
down.
I didn't
but
buy this one this past summer though.
Then it had to be the previous release. It had to
Yeah.
be the 2010. In which case, I don't believe the Shaggy Foot was even smokable in that release. But that was supposed to be a better release, so never had that year. So
This had to be.
I remember when you found those, Paul. You got quite excited that you even found them. So I think you're
Yeah.
right. I think they're the 2010s. But whoops.
I ordered some limitadas from him, and then I ordered in January 2nd of 2011. I ordered
So-
Viaje Summerfest torpedoes.
Those are the 2010 release then.
Yeah, it's a 2010 release, and they were a 4-pack for $35.
That's a good price.
So whatever that
Yeah.
works out to.
We miss you, Fullest Pullers. We
We
miss
do.
you.
Oh, now I see the email from them. Yeah, cigar e-store closing.
All right. Well,
That's too bad. Anyway,
move on.
moving on.
So, the Lever Serie V, but in this case, the number 4, which is the Corona,
Now, is this just a European release? Do you know?
It was supposed to be a European only release, and
Yep.
somehow some people over here in the States got their hands on it, liked it so much, and the demand was so great,
They started
they
distributing
just
it. Yeah.
distributing everywhere.
It's a great size.
It is. I mean, I like the larger sizes of the regular Leva Vs, but I think this size offered something a little different for the blend, and I'd smoke this on a regular basis. I put it down as I might have to order 2 5s. Not quite sure if I would want a box, but definitely more than a 5er because
Yeah.
it's damn tasty. Same great flavors, smooth, lots of pepper, some floral notes, and that nice Lajero sweetness in the background that anybody who smokes Lajero will recognize. So,
Speaking of Lajero, La Flor Dominicana Lancero Double Lajero. This is the one that I got from our Mark, semi-regular here on the show. And this is another one where he says, I've got a bunch of these. I've got a brand new but sealed box that's really old. And age has been very kind to this cigar. It's a very smooth smoking experience. A nice kind of like almost like a caramel type flavor. Not really a sweetness, but more like a caramel type flavor
nice.
that persists throughout. It burned really well. The construction was great. Again, not flavors that I would really. I didn't smoke this and go, "Oh my god, I have to have more." I smoked it and I enjoyed it, and this is like a 5er. This is like a 5er.
Okay.
And I think in a trade I got about 5 of them, so
Nice.
I'm glad that I have them. It's a nice Lancero format. I smoked a couple of Lanceros purposely this week to talk about that size on the show. I think it's a great size.
I've yet to try that one you gave me there, but we'll leave that for a later show.
Which Lancero was
The
that?
Reserva, the PG Reserva.
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah,
really
the Grand
looking for.
Panatella.
Yeah,
yeah,
Grand Panatella.
yeah. That's one of my favorite Lancero. I tell you what, I smoked a lot of Lanceros a while back, and I never found one that I really liked. So I kept smoking more of them because everyone told me it's a size that you really have to love, and it's a great representation of a lot of the different blends. And I found some really, really winners on the Lancero size.
Absolutely.
So
When they're on, they're on. So I got a gift from Big Al this week.
Big Al, props to Big Al.
It was the Grand Habano STK Zula Zula. In this case, this was the Ecuadorian Connecticut, not the Habano. Really interesting stick. Limited production, only 2,000 boxes made. It definitely had that unmistakable Ecuadorian scent on the wrapper. I immediately recognized it before I even knew where the wrapper's origin was from. How to describe unless you have smoked a fair amount of cigars with Ecuadorian wrappers? But
Yeah.
I think I know you know what I'm talking about, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have any way to describe that? I don't know if it's spice or
I don't know. It is very distinct.
it's very distinct. Anyways, a portion of all sales for this cigar go to benefit a organization called Invisible Children, which is looking to end the use of children as soldiers in Central Africa. As far as the cigar is concerned, a word of warning, don't let this Connecticut wrap beauty fool you. This thing built in strength. Started off mild, went to a medium, and I would say a full-on medium full towards the end. Great flavors, good construction. Definitely had that kick on the last third. I recommend checking it out. So,
Very nice. Very nice. Stogie Santa showed me the box when those came into the local shop.
yeah, I saw them on the counter tonight, actually.
Yeah.
I believe those are the Habano.
Oh, okay.
The Connecticut's are the blue box, and the Habanos are the red box. So it's two different
Yeah, because the one he
wrappers.
showed me wasn't it didn't look Ecuadorian wrapper on
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So they're available in both. So, and I believe he does have both. He told me.
Oh,
So,
okay. There was another one, the Gar Opium or something that came in too from the same.
Yeah, also
Same
from
company.
Grand Habano, the
Yeah.
same blender. Haven't had the chance to try that yet,
People have been saying those are good.
but those are also part of the STK line,
Yes.
which is Save the Kids, I believe is what it stands for.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so.
I smoked a Davidoff Millennium Lancero to
Very
continue
free.
my Lancero. I love the Davidoff Millennium blend. I mean, if they weren't priced so high, I would smoke these more regularly. They're about $19 for the Lancero. It's a 7 1/4 by 40. Of course, originating from the Dominican Republic with a Ecuadorian wrapper, Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper, and it was really, really. I mean, from the time you light it up till almost the time you finish. I mean, the finish typically on Davidoffs for me don't really do it. It kind of turns sour, which is what this one did.
Yeah.
But
Especially on that last
the good
one.
solid,
Yeah.
first 2/3 of the cigar are just an amazing smoking experience. It burns really well. You get the perfect amount of draw. The flavors really present themselves really well. It's tough to really pinpoint the flavors in the Millennium Blend.
Yeah.
It's a distinct flavor. Like when I light it up, I'm like, oh, that's that Millennium Blend flavor, but my palate can't really place it yet.
And it is stronger than a lot of Davidoffs.
It is a little bit stronger. I don't think they're really strong. I think they're
Not
more
at
of a
all.
medium body, but definitely stronger than the other
I would agree.
Anniversario lines or the special series even.
Yep.
So I actually met the Avo Davidoff rep this week, and he told me something interesting about the special T.
Okay.
The special T is that pyramid one that we like in the Claro. He said that in that one, in a certain select other Davidoffs, he mentioned like one or two others, but in the special T, there's an 18-year-old tobacco they put in there,
Interesting.
which is probably why I like the special T best out of all the Claros.
Interesting. I like the Robusto too, though. That was good. Too.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, speaking of Avo, just to
Oh, they're 86 this
the
coming out too.
86 limited
Did you
edition
see that
is
with the
coming
trumpet
out.
thing? It's got these three little circles of
Oh,
different.
I didn't see that.
It's got three little circles of different colored tobacco that's lighter, so it looks like a trumpet. And there's a picture of the original Avo guy, younger,
Yep.
playing the trumpet thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I always
86.
look forward to those limited editions every year. It's
yeah.
always in March, folks. So
I think the
keep your
retail
eye
price
out.
is going to be around $18, so it's going to be $185 for a
Yeah.
box of 10.
Ouch.
Yeah, they went up in price.
Yes, I see
They went
that.
up in price.
Yeah, a lot of
So-
people did this year, though.
Yeah, we saw that on Half Wheel
Yeah.
and Cigar Coop made multiple postings about cigar manufacturers raising the prices of cigars. So,
Anyways,
anywho,
so I pre-gamed the podcast tonight with a winner that I haven't had in a long time. We touched upon it in the last episode, episode 11. It's the Arturo Fuente 858 Sun-Grown. Probably been a couple of years since I had one of these. Forgot how darn tasty they really are. Pepper, cedar, nuts, with this nice subtle. I misspelled that in the show notes. I'll
That's
fix
okay.
that. Raisin sweetness in the background. Very, very, very subtle though. Really unique flavor profile. Didn't change up much for me. Has a nice toasty finish. Great Arturo Fuente quality and construction. I say box worthy. So definitely going to be revisiting sooner rather than later.
nice. Let's see. Next one on the list was the Cabaguan Guapos. This was on Cigar Aficionado's. Was it one of the top 10?
I believe it was, and I believe I gave you this.
This was kicking around in my humidor.
Yeah, I gave you this a couple months ago.
Did you give it to me,
Mm-hmm.
or did I have one kicking in my humidor?
I gave it to you.
You did.
Yeah, it came from a box that Big
Now I
Al
feel
and
bad.
shared.
Now I feel bad because it was unsmokable.
Yeah, that surprised me. I saw you post it, man. That surprised me because no lie, I've probably smoked
Yeah.
15 or 20
No,
of these.
it was
in the
weird.
last-
I don't know. There was something seriously wrong with it.
Yeah.
I lit it up, and I tried to take a puff of it. Smoke would come out of the end, but I wouldn't get any draw through the cigar. And it wasn't plugged. Like I was getting air through the cigar, just no smoke. Almost like there was a giant hole somewhere in it, but I couldn't visibly see.
Interesting.
Like usually when that happens, you'll see at the foot of the cigar, after you've lit it inside the ash,
Yeah.
like this gigantic black spot, and that just means that you're sucking air directly through the cigar. So it's not but it didn't have that. It was really, really bizarre. I mean, I really gave it and I'm like, something is wrong.
Yeah, that's a frustrating experience, so it's best just to put it
Yeah,
down.
no,
and
I
leave it.
pitched it and I took it apart and took some pictures of it.
I saw that.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting though. The some of the leaves inside of it. Stogie Santa was the one actually holding it in that picture, and I touched one of the leaves. And he's like, "Feel that," and it was moist.
Interesting.
And he said, "This is one of the reasons you don't want to run your humidor at 70." He's like, "Because feel how these oily, even filler will absorb humidity."
Right.
Now this one wasn't over humidified. It was in my travel box, which I had Bavita packs in.
Yeah, and I gave that to you several months ago.
Yeah. So it's not. It was really kind of interesting. So
That came from a box that Al and I shared, and I
Yeah.
smoked at least 10 or 15 of them. Never.
yeah,
had
I'm not blaming you or the manufacturer. Or
Why are
anyone.
you pointing at me?
It's it's all your fault. It was just an error in manufacturing, and it happens.
It happens, yeah.
Yeah. I've smoked a lot of the Cabaguans, and I haven't had any construction issues. I know you have too. So, I know it wasn't typical of this kind of blend. It was just kind of a weird thing.
I love that blend, especially since you can find it on sale in a lot of places.
Yeah, I need to try it again.
Yeah.
I need to try it again. So.
Okay. My last one. You had given me a La Aurora Pref in the Emerald Tubo, which is a Cameroon wrapper, I believe. And I think I actually reviewed the regular Cameroon a while back. I want to say it was around Christmas time. It's a great smoke, both the Emerald Tubo and the regular Cameroon. Honest to God, truth is, I can't tell the difference, man.
It's a sun-grown wrapper, they say.
Yeah, I thought it was a Cameroon. I
Says
could be
sun-grown.
wrong. I looked it up. At least that's what I found on the internet. But I have no doubt it's a Cameroon. It tastes like a Cameroon. But my point being, it's a great smoke. But to pay the premium for the Tubo, I can't taste the difference.
Oh, I see. Yeah, the Tubo's supposed to be a different blend.
Yeah,
There's a Lara Preferido Tubo, and there's a Lara Preferido
Cameroon.
regular, or just a regular Preferido in different wrapper styles. There's a
Right.
Maduro, there's a Cameroon. And you couldn't tell the difference, huh?
Well, I haven't smoked them back to back either, but
Right.
both equally box worthy in my book. They're great smokes, but
Yeah, I love the I love the La Aurora stuff. The Preferido line in particular is particularly special.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm trying to find where the wrapper is. It is somewhat
a mystery.
it's somewhat mysterious.
Now I do have the Maduro, which is the ruby that you also gave me that I have not touched yet.
Oh, those those are
So,
kind of
I'm looking
stinky.
forward to
Those are
that.
stinky old and really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I may have to do a formal review on that one.
Yes. So it says the wrapper is an Ecuadorian Sumatra.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
maybe it isn't.
Yeah, that's what I found for some quick searching.
I stand corrected then.
Next on my list was an Ashton VSG. I didn't get the size before I smoked it, but it looked like a Corona Gorda. I don't know whether is that a Spellbound or
I can't keep going.
yeah, they have all those weird names. But yeah, the VSG line again, really good. This one had some age, no cellophane on it, so it was a couple of years old, and it was really good. Very enjoyable smoke. Again, that almost medium to full body, but not super strong
Yep.
nicotine, and I really like that about this cigar.
Yeah.
Lots of flavor.
So how's your double Claro?
I've been talking and smoking it. I haven't really been paying attention to it. I'm enjoying it a lot.
Yeah, ditto. I was holding about almost a 2-inch ash there. It's funny, as soon as it fell, it actually started going out on me a little bit.
Yeah, mine just went out.
Speaking
of that,
did a relight, same great flavors. Getting a little bit of I don't know what you'd call the aroma off of it. I don't know, hay. But it's not bad. It's just different.
yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Great draw.
Smooth flavors, in different flavors. Yeah.
The herbal thing has kind of gone to the background. For me.
It has. It's not as
strong.
herbal. It's a little
Yeah.
more not herbal. I don't know how to kind of place the flavors in it.
Yeah, ditto.
Good stuff though. Speaking I smoked a Lara Cameroon Robusto.
Okay.
I think I bought a box of these on auction really cheap. And it's a great
Is that also the Preferidos?
No, this is just a regular. I think it is the Preferidos line,
But it's a Robusto.
but it's a Robusto.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's lots of different in that La Aurora kind of
There's the
Preferidos.
Robusto,
yeah.
the Lancero.
Yeah.
I know
And
they
there's
make
those
the
Ruby
Maduro.
Tubos, which have a slightly different blend in them, supposedly. So, this is a La Aurora Cameroon Robusto. Great value, great smoke.
You can find them in a lot of places.
I just, you burn one while I was sitting here in the studio last week setting up and just burning one because I needed to be smoking something while I was out here, right? So
boy.
I was, I smoked that, and the flavors are great. It's an, easy smoking kind of thing, medium bodied. Not, if you're doing something else, you don't need to really pay attention to all the subtle flavors. It's just a good solid flavor throughout the stick.
Agree 100%.
So, I also smoked today at lunchtime the Tatawahe TAA
Oh yes, how'd you
release. Love that cigar. Thought it was very much like some great spice and pepper up front.
Yep.
Like really kind of bites you, but in like a good way. Not to be sexual or anything, but it nibbled on my ear gently. It was wonderful.
Really?
And then it had that great Tatawahe spice, and the finish was definitely had a cocoa flavor to it, and
Nice.
reminded me of the Barclay Rex release.
Yeah, the last third especially, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I even said that to Dave. I was like, I'm picking up a lot of nice cocoa flavors in the last third, and Tim found the same thing. So this is how I know I'm not crazy picking out these flavors in these
I
cigars.
want to say it's actually one of the first reviews I posted up to our site back in
Yeah.
the fall. And,
It was like-
I enjoyed it.
Barnyard hay, Play-Doh flavors. It was great. No, I'm just
Little
kidding.
powdery cocoa.
Powdery cocoa.
Why are those tissues over there? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No, it was very good. Very, very enjoyable smoke. So,
Was that your list, Paul?
you know what? I think that is.
That's my list, man.
I think that is my list. I don't see anything else.
You
Hold
know,
on,
considering it's only been 5 days since we last podcast,
this is true.
that's a pretty good list, man. I'm just
It
gonna
is a pretty.
say.
It is a pretty
'Cause
good
it was
list.
Saturday night when we podcasted last
Yeah,
night.
it's a pretty good list, and that is everything. So, with that, we will take a short break and come back and talk about cigar cutters, and go off on cigar cutters and all the different kinds and types and what we like and some of the things that we like to keep here in the studio. I should have brought some more of my cutters out here, but
Hoo-ah. Well, we are going to break. So.
we are going to break. So, we'll be right back.